Hello and welcome to the Movies Past and Present podcast. It's December 13th, 2018. This is episode 6. I'm your host, Stanford Clark, and I'm podcasting from the Crossroads of the West in beautiful Salt Lake City, Utah. Just like my blog, moviespastandpresent.com, I'll be providing recommendations, commentary, and reviews about current and classic cinema. Thanks for tuning in, and let's get started. There are 4 major studio releases of interest this weekend, opening Friday, December 14th. First up is Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse from Sony Pictures Animation. This is an animated feature. It has been getting rave reviews, and I'm excited to see it. It is based on a lot of the Spider-Man comic books that have all these different variations and different characters, such as Spider-Ham, the Spider-Pig, there's Spider-Gwen, and the list goes on and on. And also just the original Spider-Man, Peter Parker. This particular movie focuses on the character of Miles Morales, who also becomes Spider-Man. And I've heard that the animation is just amazing, and it's all just very groundbreaking, and supposedly for comic book fans in particular, it's just really, really great. So this film is rated PG by the Motion Picture Association of America for frenetic sequences of animated action violence, thematic elements, and mild language. So Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Next up is Mortal Engines from Universal Pictures. This looks like a very heady sci-fi kind of film, also very CG heavy. It is based on a book series by Philip Reeve, and this script was written by Peter Jackson, as in Lord of the Rings Peter Jackson, and along with Fran Walsh and Philippa Boyens, who he often collaborates with. And the visual effects are done by his Weta Digital team there in New Zealand. But this is kind of an interesting story. It's a dystopian future. It's based, in the hundreds of years after civilization was destroyed by some kind of a cataclysmic event. There is these cities. This is the great cities of the world now are on wheels, and they're just at war with each other. So one of them is London, a giant predator city on wheels now, and it's devouring everything in its path. And looks like then we've got some outlaws that are some brave young people that are trying to fight this. So, don't know about this one. The previews look like it might not necessarily be my thing. I'm really not a big fan of young adult fiction in a dystopian future. However, it could be cool too. So we'll see as reviews start coming in, and I'll of course let you know if I see it. So that's Mortal Engines. Next up is The Mule, and The Mule is from Warner Brothers. It's directed by Clint Eastwood, and it also stars Clint Eastwood. And you might have seen a preview for this, but this is based on a New York Times magazine article. And Eastwood stars as a man in his 80s who's really down on his luck. He's broke, he's alone, he's facing foreclosure on his business, and he's offered a job that simply requires him to drive. It sounds easy enough, but what he's just signed up to do is to be a drug courier for a Mexican cartel. So this looks like it's a pretty serious drama. It's got a really great cast. Bradley Cooper's in it, Lawrence Fishburne, Michael Pena, Diane Wiest, and Andy Garcia. So this could really be, I think, an excellent drama. It's rated R by the Motion Picture Association of America for language throughout and brief sexuality/nudity. And we'll again see how this one comes in. But I think this looks like a mature audiences, and it could be it could be a good picture. I tell you, when Clint Eastwood's on his game, he's awfully good. Next up is If Beale Street Could Talk. This is from Annapurna Films, and this is the next film from Academy Award-winning director Barry Jenkins. Barry Jenkins directed Moonlight most recently, and it's based on a novel written by James Baldwin. It's about a woman in Harlem who desperately scrambles to prove her fiancé innocent of a crime while also carrying their first child. It stars Kiki Lane, Stephen James, and Regina King. It's rated R by the Motion Picture Association of America for language and some sexual content. You know, they had me at Barry Jenkins on this one. It looks very good. Some of the early reviews I've read of it also are highly praise it. So, looking forward to seeing If Beale Street Could Talk. So, interesting films to kind of run the gamut here for different audiences. We've got Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, Mortal Engines, The Mule, and If Beale Street Could Talk. For reviews this week, I'm going to continue with some of my favorite Christmas movies throughout the month of December. Today, I'd like to talk about Irving Berlin's White Christmas, which is a 1954 film from Paramount. This is just one of my all-time favorite holiday movies. I love it so much. It was on the big screen last week, thanks to Turner Classic Movies as part of their Big Screen Classic series. So hopefully you had a chance to see it on the big screen. And if not, bust out a DVD or rent it, because it's just so much fun. This is the peak of the Hollywood musical here in the 50s. It's directed by Michael Curtiz, as in the guy who directed Casablanca, who's just a terrific director. This was one of the, I think the first film in VistaVision, if I'm remembering correctly, with the title, the opening title. But so widescreen, great color, fantastic cast: Bing Crosby, Danny Kaye, Rosemary Clooney, Vera Ellen, Dean Yeager, Mary Wicks. It's so charming, and then of course starring these fantastic songs by Irving Berlin. Now, the song White Christmas was made popular in the film Holiday Inn, which also starred Bing Crosby. So the world knew this song and loved this song, and it's performed twice in the film, and it's just one of many fantastic musical numbers. There's probably only one musical number I don't really love in the movie. Not wanting to spoil it for you, but otherwise it's short. But otherwise, everything is just so fun, so happy, so cheerful, and just kind of the perfect Christmas movie. So that's Irving Berlin's White Christmas. Hope you can get a chance to check it out. For this week's Classic Cinema Corner, I recently watched on the Watch TCM app a really interesting Japanese film called The Bad Sleep Well. This is a film made in 1960, directed by the great Akira Kurosawa, and it's about a man who's played by Kurosawa regular Toshiro Mifune, who seeks revenge by marrying the daughter of his father's enemy. This film was so interesting in so many ways. It really, I didn't know much about it before I started watching it, but I was immediately grabbed by the very impressive cinematography and lighting. And then, of course, just how Kurosawa composes each one of his shots, which are all just, works of art. But it's set in modern-day Japan, in the business sector. So all these people are just wearing suits. They just look like it's not necessarily a big costume drama, but it's almost Shakespearean the way that this is all laid out. I was really quite taken with it. So if you're feeling a bit adventurous and have a couple hours to spare, actually this one's a little longer. It's 2 hours and 30 minutes. It's a suspense mystery. Again, it just feels like film noir to me. It's shot in black and white, and really a compelling, interesting film. Check out The Bad Sleep Well. I watched it on the Watch TCM app. As I mentioned, it's available on the app until December 17th, and that the app, if you don't already have it, it's just available on your favorite app store. I was watching this in particular. I watched it on Apple TV, but I think it's Watch TCM is available on all sorts of different platforms now. So make sure to check it out. The Bad Sleep Well. Finally, we've got just recommendations. Most of these films, the 4 films I talked about that are coming into theaters, I haven't seen yet. So what I'd recommend, if you haven't already seen it, is to go check out Ralph Breaks the Internet. That is such a fun movie. Great family film from Walt Disney Animation Studios, but also beautifully animated, so clever, fun. I think, given the subject matter, I think it's as fun for adults as it is for kids, and also quite a thought-provoking, well-written plot and story and theme, and just not to mention hilarious. So, Ralph Breaks the Internet would be my main recommendation this week if you haven't already seen it. We got a lot of movies coming up next week, so hope you'll tune in again. And thanks so much for listening. And we will see you next week.